This video is about what happens to your brain after retirement, and you know, how to protect your memory once the daily structure of work disappears. Most people believe retirement is a well-earned rest. No more alarms, no more deadlines, just peace. And for many, it is. But here's the surprising truth. For some, retirement doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like fog, trouble concentrating, forgetting names, feeling less sharp than before. That's not your imagination. According to research published in the Journal of Economic Perspectives, cognitive decline can actually accelerate after retirement, especially when social interaction and mental engagement drop off. But there's good news. You're not powerless. There are simple, research-backed habits that can protect your brain, even after you've stepped away from the 9 to 5. In this video, we'll explain why retirement can subtly impact memory, the biological and lifestyle reasons behind it, and most importantly, what you can do to stay mentally sharp, fulfilled, and connected for years to come. Let's begin. Leaving the workforce is a major life change. It doesn't just change your schedule. It changes your identity, your routines, your purpose, and those things matter more to brain health than most people realize. When you work, your brain is constantly active. You solve problems, you learn new tools, you interact with others. All of these stimulate different areas of the brain, especially those tied to memory, focus, and executive function. But after retirement, those daily challenges can suddenly vanish. The brain is like a muscle. When it's not used, it slowly weakens. This isn't about intelligence, it's about stimulation. A large European study called SHARE, which stands for Survey of Health, Aging, and Retirement in Europe, found that retirees, on average, showed faster cognitive decline than people who kept working into later life, even part-time. Interestingly, this effect was stronger in people whose jobs had higher levels of mental or social engagement. So it's not just work that matters, it's the type of work, and what you replace it with once it's gone. It's not just a mental shift. Retirement changes your biology too. Your daily routine plays a big role in how your brain and body stay regulated. When you wake up, when you eat, how active you are, these things affect your sleep-wake cycle, your hormones, and even inflammation in the brain. Without structure, it's easy to drift. You may start sleeping in, skipping meals, or becoming more sedentary. This can disrupt your circadian rhythm, which is tied to memory, attention, and emotional balance. Social interaction may decrease as well. This matters more than most people realize. In one long-term study from Harvard, people who reported strong social ties had better memory and slower cognitive decline than those who were isolated, even when controlling for income or physical health. Another study published in The Lancet listed social isolation as a key modifiable risk factor for dementia. Put simply, the brain craves connection. When that disappears, it begins to shut down systems it no longer thinks it needs, including parts related to memory and attention. So how do you know if retirement is affecting your cognitive health? Here are some early signs. You feel mentally foggy more often, even with plenty of rest. You forget appointments or names more frequently. You lose motivation or curiosity. Tasks that once felt simple now feel draining, and you feel less confident in your memory or decision-making. These signs don't always mean something serious, but they do suggest the brain may be underused and craving stimulation. That's why the solution isn't going back to work. It's replacing what work used to provide. Let's look at how. The key isn't to recreate your old job, it's to rebuild the brain benefits your job once gave you, in new, meaningful ways. Here are some strategies. First, reintroduce structure to your day. This doesn't mean a strict schedule, but waking, eating, and sleeping at consistent times helps regulate brain chemistry and supports memory. One of the most overlooked drivers of brain health is purpose, a sense of meaning, a reason to get up in the morning. In a long-term study published in JAMA Psychiatry, older adults with a strong sense of purpose had a 30% lower risk of developing dementia, regardless of physical health or education level. Why? Because purpose activates multiple regions of the brain. It boosts motivation, encourages planning, stimulates memory recall. Even the anticipation of doing something meaningful lights up brain networks involved in attention and executive function. Retirement often removes the external why, the meetings, the deadlines, the responsibilities, but your internal why can be just as powerful. Think about what gives you energy now. It might be helping others, creating something, teaching, exploring. These aren't just hobbies, they're brain medicine. Cognitive scientists often divide brain function into 5 major domains: memory, attention, language, executive function, like planning and decision-making, and visuospatial skills, such as depth perception and navigation. To keep your mind sharp, you want to stimulate all five regularly. Here's how. Memory. Practice active recall. Make grocery lists from memory. Try daily journaling. Reflect on past experiences in detail. Attention. Use puzzles, card games, or mindfulness meditation to train focus. Even simple things like brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand can reawaken attention circuits. Language. Read aloud. Learn new words. Talk regularly, in person or over the phone. Try writing short stories or letters. Executive function. Plan meals. Organize a family event. Set weekly goals. Manage a small project, even around the house. Visuospatial. Take new walking routes. Try drawing or rearranging furniture. Play games that involve spatial reasoning, like chess or jigsaw puzzles. The more variety you include, the more resilient your brain becomes. Many retirees unintentionally fall into a passive lifestyle. Long hours of TV, endless scrolling, meals alone. While there's nothing wrong with rest, passive habits, when they become routine, can dull the brain. According to a study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine, older adults who spent more than 8 hours a day sitting were significantly more likely to show signs of cognitive decline, especially if that sitting involved screen time. That doesn't mean you need to be busy all day. It means the brain needs a balance, periods of rest, mixed with periods of challenge, creativity, and connection. Think of it like gardening. If you stop watering the soil, even the strongest plants begin to fade. Your brain is no different. There's one more piece we haven't touched yet, and it's critical: mood. After retirement, some people feel an unexpected wave of sadness, anxiety, or disconnection. This is more common than people admit. Depression in older adults is often underdiagnosed, and it can mimic cognitive decline, fatigue, forgetfulness, trouble concentrating, loss of interest. All of these can be signs of mood imbalance, not memory failure. The National Institute on Aging notes that treating depression can significantly improve memory and focus in older adults. So if you're feeling persistently low or mentally foggy, it's worth speaking to a health professional. Your mind may be asking for help, and there are gentle, effective treatments available. Here's a simple way to check in with yourself. Ask, what am I doing each week that feeds my mind, body, and relationships? If you're not sure, or if the answer is not much, that's okay. The beauty of retirement is that you get to choose again. You can reinvent your routines, you can shape your environment, and you can grow, even now, in ways you never had time to before. The goal isn't to go back to who you were, it's to discover who you are now, with wisdom, freedom, and full ownership of your time. Retirement isn't the end of mental sharpness. It's the beginning of a new kind of clarity, if you know how to nurture it. With small, intentional steps, structure, learning, connection, and purpose, your brain can stay strong, active, and resilient well into the decades ahead. Because aging isn't just about surviving. It's about staying curious, staying present, and staying mentally alive. Thank you for watching.